And now, get ready.
Keep up with FemiDlive for live updates on Twitter at FemiDlive, on Facebook at FemiDlive, Instagram at FemiDlive. All major platforms you would find FemiDlive. Send your messages and email femid@live.com to keep the conversation going even now.
Nothing breaks the news like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. I'm ready. Let's take on the biggest debates on radio, provide insights, experience, and build an unforgettable discussion together. I am Femi D. Amele. Let's talk with FemiDlive is on.
This November, all things are clear, concise, complete, but not over. Join the November conversations with FemiDlive. This is FemiDlive.
Thank you so much for joining in and welcome to the show this very evening, 20th day of November 2016. And just before you know it, it's going to be done. I'm talking about the year 2016. This is the place to be. This is when the conversation that matters moves everybody around. There's some conversation that leave you just the way you are, but there's some conversations that make you understand issues a little bit deeper, make you understand that there is always something at stake at every point in time. And yes, this evening, we'll start off with a conversation as regards the Ondo State election. Oh, yes, what can be said about that? How various parties come to examine and review the verdict as regards the Ondo State election. Ayita Jagada says even now he's still reviewing much of the development from there. While one would almost say that Ali Modu Sharif, counterpart to the PDP, is taking time to attempt to bring everybody together, get them all together, get them all in. Let all the people who feel like lost children or lost chickens now come around now, around this table. Let's know how many we are in the PDP, they say. I guess that's what they're trying to achieve right now. Also, one would look at Akeredolu, who is now the declared governor-elect in Ondo State. What would he do for his people? He's made a lot of promises, a lot of words. Would he be able to match them with so much action in this regard? Well, President Muhammadu Buhari is pleased with the outcome of the election in Ondo State. So also are many other governors and even ministers such as Fayemi in this regard. Also, listen a little bit. Like I said in the morning on Let's Talk, one of the APC gubernatorial aspirants who at some point was running for to become the governor to become a gubernatorial candidate on the platform of the APC questioned about the use of money. I'm going to allow everybody listening to him describe this in descriptive terms, what he feels about inducement and the use of money in getting people to vote, or to vote for or vote against a vote, as one would typically say in this regard. That comes up as well on the show. New reports now. I do understand Bloomberg they have a new report on Nigeria. They say Nigeria's economy needs visionary leadership. Okay, so read exactly what they have described as the moment we are in this regard. With the state of the economy. I'll be reading this full report for you on the show. Their views regarding Nigeria's state of economy. And as well, don't miss out on the fact that Nigerian president should be in the National Assembly chamber come the 1st of December, Thursday. For much of what we do here, he will be there. But not without his journey through to get to the chamber without some few bumps on the road. Well, let me tell you about this. Some said the likes of constituency projects, security votes, and other things and other factors remains to be factored into the 2017 budget. However, President Muhammadu Buhari has also come out to say there will be nothing like budget pounding. I submit a document to you, review it, and tell me what you think to stay or go, but you would not, at your own discretion, add or remove. Well, it's sad to say that even 1 year after, December 2015 was when the concept of missing budget grew into budget padding, and 12 months after, we're still very much on the verge of this. So much can be said. And from FemiDlive, and there's always room for debates every evening, right here, right now. Welcome to the show. It's a good time to get started. Let's get started now. There's so much to cover tonight on the show. Welcome.
Nothing breaks the news like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. I'm ready. Let's take on the biggest debates on radio, provide insights, experience, and build an unforgettable discussion together. I am Femi D. Amele. Let's talk with FemiDlive is on.
This is FemiDlive.
All right then, let's start from the very beginning right now. There's so much to think about and make an attempt to cover. Now, come next year, February, if nothing changes, if nothing at all changes, Rotimi Akeredolu will be the next governor of Ondo State. But then, he still has a lot of things to sort out before them. For example, now, the PDP has said they are interested in approaching the tribunal court regarding this. That's the latest on that. The PDP was quiet in the morning as regards what they would do, but now it's clear that the PDP will be approaching the tribunal court. Let me bring you in close a little bit into the moment that brought about Rotimi Akeredolu as the candidate, the governor-elect in Ondo State. Very quickly, let's run through the moment in which the INEC returning officer declared him the winner of the election.
I hope all the party agents are around, and please lend me your ears. Number of registered voters from the 18 local government areas of Ondo State is 1,647,973. I take it again. Number of registered voters is 1,647,973. Number of accredited voters, 584,997 in number. I take it again, 584,997. I now give the breakdown based on political parties. Party A scored 683 votes. Party AA 661. 661. Party ACPN scored 2,524. 2524. Party AD scored 126,889. 126,889. ADC scored 4,872. 4872. APA scored 2,503. 2503. APC scored 244,842. 244842. APGA scored 786. BNPP scored 152 votes, 152. CPP scored 385, 385. DPC party scored 556 votes, 556. DPP party scored 324 votes, 324. HDP party scored 153 votes, 153. ID party scored 202 votes, 202. KP party scored 96 votes, 96. LP party scored 632 votes, 632. NCP party scored 110 votes, 310. NNPP party scored 205 votes, 205. NUP party scored 159 votes, 159. PDC party scored 1,096 votes, 1096. PDP party scored 150,380 votes, 150380. PPA party scored 1,610 votes, 1610. PPN party scored 408 votes, 408. PRP party scored 284 votes, 284. SDP party scored 10,149 votes, 10147. UDP party scored 146 votes, 146. UPN scored 109 votes. 109. YDP scored 158 votes. 158. Total valid votes 551,272 votes. 551,272. Number of rejected votes 29,615. 29,615. Total number of votes cast 580,887. Thank you. Pardon? 580,887.
And that figure summarizes how all the events in terms of who voted for who, how many voted for what, was allotted out there in what one would call the Ondo State Governorship Election 2016. But then, shortly after, the INEC representative declared the man you know as Rotimi Akeredolu as the winner of the election. Now, this, I tell you, was interesting because some people reacted differently regards to how this news has played out. But it's just of good interest so that we know how it feels like and how different people reacted to this story. Here's that moment to declare Akeredolu as the winner.
The party scored 126,889 votes. Mr. Oluwarotimi Odundayo Akeredolu of APC scored 244,842 votes. Tayo Tegede San of PDP scored 150,380 votes. The Oluwarotimi Odunayo Akeredolu of APC, having satisfied the requirement of the law and scored the highest number of votes, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected.
And yes, that was the moment he declared him. And shortly after, this was what happened very carefully. Just celebration all the way, from every side, from every supporter of Akeredolu. And you think they can't dance? You should see the video around this one. It was of good interest. But moving away from there, as the governor-elect continued to celebrate, he was also ready to say something about that moment and how he feels about the days ahead. Here's what he said.
Alone, it is a victory for the people of Ondo State, irrespective of which side of the divide you stood during the election. Today, change has come to Ondo State. I hereby make a solemn pledge that this collective mandate shall address all issues with keen determination. Let me use this opportunity to thank profusely the President and leader of our party, President Muhammadu Buhari, for his exemplary leadership qualities.
And that was the moment he talked about how he feels and how he acknowledges what would happen ahead in the days ahead. Rotimi Akeredolu, governor-elect of Ondo State. But that's not all. It's not complete without the dramatic moment, I tell you, of the PDP agent who was on ground to represent the PDP. I don't know what else to say, Ayita Jagede now, but it's safe to say the PDP agent on ground for Dhaka had a different perspective to the results.
My constituent world becomes a rigging in that particular election. So I will say that powerful interests in this country, working hands in glove with INEC, decided to do us in this election. They desired, and they have achieved their aim to hand over our party to APC.
And of our party to APC. Remember, Ondo State used to be a PDP-controlled state, but it's now going to be cross-carpeting under the leadership of the All Progressive Congress. But that's not all. Another member of the PDP, Deji Adeyoju, well, is a member, I would say, of the PDP. He's a member, but which of the factions, don't ask me. But he's a member of the PDP. He had another perspective. Strong words, not calm nerves, to describe the results.
No, how can the party accept this fraud that went on in Ondo? Definitely the party cannot accept the fraud because, from the beginning, when INEC changed the name of Ayita Jagede with Jimoh Ibrahim, who was not a member of our party, who was a member of the Accord Party, we raised the alarm that, that the federal government, the APC-led government, and INEC were working together to disenfranchise our party. You can see the way things turned out. The court of appeal had said that the judgment of Justice Okonabang was a fraud, which means INEC, itself carried out a fraud by substituting the name of Jagede with Jimoh Ibrahim. That is the basis upon which, the fraud that took place on Saturday, happened. You will also see that basically, Ayita Jagede was given 48 hours to campaign. He was not given the opportunity to submit his agents list as provided by the Electoral Act. The Electoral Act was severely flouted in this election. As far as we are concerned, there was no election. What happened was just a charade, because for many of us in the PDP, we see a situation where the INEC itself just made sure that they handed over victory to the APC. Even the governor, Olusegun Mimiko, kept saying it, that there was no hurry. There was no need for INEC to hurry up and do the election. We have seen an INEC for the first time in the history of this country, an INEC that is acting like an organ of the APC. You can see what happened in Edo. The atmosphere was conducive for election. Everything was in place. But because INEC and APC had a meeting and they saw that they could not win the election, they postponed the election by almost 3 weeks. Here, where INEC had intentionally, removed the name of Ayita Jagede, where they had done grave injustice, the provision of the Electoral Act says you must give the candidate at least 7 days for him to submit his agents list. Ayita Jagede did not have agents in many polling units. We had a situation where observers, we call into the situation room and tell us that they are at a particular polling unit and there are no single PDP agents, at the polling units. Again, in the North Senatorial District, we had a situation where they just wrote results. There was no elections there. And because there were no agents of the PDP to challenge them, they had a field day with both the security people who they obviously were compromised and INEC. You could see that in Akure, Ondo, and Ondo Town and all these places, elections actually held. You will see that in PDP stronghold, you will see that the PDP will have maybe 100 and something, APC will have 70 something. It shows you that election took place in those places. But in the north, where the APC candidate comes from, they just simply wrote results. They had enough time to plan, and that was why INEC was in a hurry.
So you have that conversation going on as of today regarding what the PDP stands as. But then the APC PRO in Ondo State, Abayomi Adesonyo, think, or we still think it differently.
It's just a fluke. What I want to say, first of all, is that I want to thank the good people of Ondo State for conducting themselves in an unprecedented, peaceful manner. I want to commend the INEC for conducting that election free and fair. It is unprecedented in the history of Ondo State, where election will be conducted and there will not be bloodletting. This will not be out of place if not because of the system adopted by INEC. I mean, the simultaneous accreditation of voting. I think that one, largely to a large extent, caused the absence of violence and electoral malpractices. Well, in an election in Nigeria, it is known, it's known to all of us in Nigeria that when you lose an election, you always want to attribute it to one issue or the other. The election was free, fair, and transparent. And I'm aware your men now they were on ground here in Ondo State.
So that's the conversation around what's building up into this. But now, both parties, or should I say 2 parties out of about 20 plus that did participate in this election, still pointed fingers as regards how much money was used. In fact, let me tell you this. There's an accusation going on against the Rivers State Governor, Nyesom Wike, at this point in time. They say it carried 2 billion naira of his state's money to go and help the PDP candidate possibly win the election. Unfortunately, in this case, it did not win. But talking about money that was used, and as I mentioned in the morning, justifying the reason why money should be used, guess what? One of the candidates who obviously was one of the candidates that did try to run on the platform of the PDP, the APC, before stepping aside for Akeredolu, that's Tunji Abayomi, had to say about the use of money in the Ondo governorship election.
Find a place to spend it. And since the poor is abandoned, and there are many, and they need their vote to be elected, so let them spend the money that the people ask for the money. From that perspective, I will not condemn it until the economy is improved in the interest of the ordinary people. So, yes, it may not be an ideal situation to be buying votes, but if we don't buy votes, there's nothing to be bought for the ordinary Mekuno who suffers.
Wait, I don't mean to interrupt. I just have to bring it to your attention. Did you hear that sentence? That part about if we're not buying votes? Wait. We need to hear this again.
The pain of poverty situation to be. So, yes, it may not be an ideal situation to be buying votes, but if we don't buy votes, there's nothing to be bought for the ordinary Mekuno who suffers the pain of poverty and abandoned largely. In this country, you have just about 30% of the people commanding the wealth of the nation, and you have another 97 struggling for what you actually belong to the 30%. Even that 30% that commands the wealth of the nation, they are struggling to take the little that is left for the 97 to give to their children. That's why you have in the past government a situation where you have 15 million in the 200 million or billion or whatever in the account of a 15-year-old. So when we are talking about the use of money, it will be placed in perspective to the ordinary person. It is a necessity. This corrupt, pitiless oligarchy they want power. So we have.
I'm starting to love this. So that, I tell you, is the conversation around why money becomes quite interesting. That will have to be concealed of my friends in channels and what has been going on in this regard. Oh, by the way, a faction of the PDP met earlier on today. The Ali Model Sharif faction met earlier on today. And they said the reason why they are much in trouble that they are right now would have to be because of 3 governors. Let me quote that statement. They said, in all these difficult times, only 3 governors have been the architects of our destruction of the party. essentially, they look at the likes of Ayodele Fayose of Ekiti State is on the platform of the PDP. He is one troublemaker they describe him to be. Olusegun Mimiko of Ondo State. And then, yes, Samwike of River State. These are the three governors they say is the architects. Let me use the phrase correctly now. The architects of the destruction of the party. So that is the dramatic going on around the world of the PDP right now. And we are making it easy for the All Progressive Congress to contest. And I'm not, why am I using the word contest? To campaign and not even contest. Because you actually have to be in a struggle to successfully contest with someone. But apparently that's not the situation. They campaign all the way till they win. Contesting is when you struggle with someone. But when somebody doesn't contest with you, it's like, okay, let me give you an example. It's like you go to a place where a woman is roasting corn, and then you point at this corn, and the other person comes around and says, I want that exact same corn. Well, one would say it falls on the woman to pick out, to say, well, Oga, the second Oga that just came, the first, you see this corn that you're trying to pick, the first guy that was here is the one that picked it first. It falls on her to say, well, first Oga, now you get this corn. Second Oga, nobody you get the corn. Something like that, essentially. But it becomes quite interesting when the second guy that comes around and says, oh, they picked the corn. Okay, no worry, I'll pick another one. There's no contest. The first guy just has to stand there till the corn is roasted, turned around, mixed up all around, and then he waits, pays for the corn, and go away. In this case, INEC, all they have to do is sit down and see who would concede and move away from contesting to just campaigning, who's just going to accompany the other person to the poll. At the end of the day, they just have to sit. They just have to fan the fire, fan the election, keep fanning, blow, make sure the corn is coming up. And if it's custard that they are trying to sell, they just have to keep the flame going. Just make sure the oil gets hot. Pour the flour, the bean cake flour into the oil, the hot oil, and just keep waiting. So whoever comes first, or whoever decides to give up on this, we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, the PDP is not backing down. They say they will head to the tribunal in the Ondo State election and see how things do go from there. They're ready to go. The likes of Eyita Jagede, who became the leading candidate in less than 48 hours to the election, said he's getting ready now and studying the results of the election and will be interested in going to a tribunal court to see how things do go. Also, in the meantime, the outgoing governor now, who will be gone by February, Olusegun Mimiko, has congratulated Akeredolu on his victory in the Ondo State election. So that becomes of good interest in that regard. All right, we'll see how that goes. And Fayose, by the way, is not backing down on this. He says, what could anyone have done under 72 hours in an election that was heavily monetized by the APC? The whole process was a deliberate sabotage by INEC, which has totally bastardized the electoral process. Obviously, all these people who are geared towards turning Nigeria to a one-party state by weakening all opposition parties out of the 2019 general elections. But I can assure Nigerians that we will not last, because the people will not defeat, the people will defeat tyranny. It goes on to say. All right, but we'll see how that really goes in this regard. The Fayose, of course, has been one of the most outspoken men in recent times when it comes to governorship election. Now, the Bloomberg report going on about Nigeria is of good interest. They say, they talk a little bit about our situation. I say the unofficial unemployment rate has more than doubled over the last 2 years. The inflation is 11-year high. And they say pretty much that it's no secret that all the CBN has tried to do at this very difficult time is to give in to devaluation of the Naira in June, and at the same time try to hold on to the foreign exchange controls at this difficult time of short-term rise in inflation. Well, they're going to describe the fact that much of the bid to borrow $30 billion by the Nigerian president is not going well. Let's talk about that for a moment. I tell you this, Thursday will be an interesting day because it looks like, when you borrow your... Okay, yes, I like this example. It comes in very easy. When you borrow the wrapper of the first wife to wear to a party, you know that when you come back, you should be ready to fight to the gutter with her. I mean, if the second wife were to borrow the wrapper of the first woman, if your husband, if a man has more than one wife, And the second wife chooses to wear the wrapper of the first woman to a party and comes back home dressed up and comes up with the plastic and all the things given at the party. She should be ready to fight it to the beating, or to fight to the husband comes separating. Well, it's a case that we may see with the Senate and the executive come Thursday, if there's a Thursday to come on this issue. Now, the 2017 budget is being prepared. Well, one report says, according to a source in the presidency, he says that the executive report for the MTE, the medium-term expenditure framework, is already detailed out. That's why there were professionals that could be brought in 2 days to rewrite the process and make sure the numbers really add up in that regard. And that this proposal of $30 billion is one they presented to the Bank of Agriculture for the Bank of Agriculture to even be on their side to consider part funding part of the loan. Now, this same proposal is what is being given to the World Bank, as well as given to the World Bank to look through in detail what they intend to do and how they intend to achieve it. So, when the likes of the Senate say that the short-term, the 2017 budget and the medium-term expenditure framework is practically empty and, let me use this word, brainless in detail, that it's not true. No, that it's not true at all. So it brings back that debate. So what was submitted to the Senate? In the meantime, the Senate is not backing down. They also say, wait, guys, let's be very clear. What is in this $30 billion loan budget that you want us to approve? Who we help? Who does it benefit? We can't see our constituency projects here. We can't see our security votes here and the rest of the other things that essentially surround this. In the meantime, trouble is also booming up because the President Muhammadu Buhari, has made it clear. One of the vital lessons he learned in the 2016 budget is, guys, let me be clear. In the 2016 budget, the President experienced for the first time in his over 70 years on earth what one would call budget padding. Maybe not, maybe he has always read about it, if he does read about it, in books, but he experienced budget padding in 2016. And he strongly said that nothing like that would come forth in the year 2017. Now, on the other hand, Abdulmumin Jibril's allegation on the 2016 budget is still very much hanging, asking for everybody to respond and say, come to the party, come and say, you people better come and see how these people have chopped our money. Okay, let me go the crude way. Eating our money, like somebody said to me, eating our money. Sure. Well, some of those theatrics, parameters, and the method used to treat the 2016 budget, be waiting around to have the same done for the 2017 budget. That's the question now to me, Sultan. It's really, really interesting just to see how this will build up. Well, the 2017 budget, no matter the name you call it, no matter how you choose to frame it, no matter how one wants to name it, is it the budget of redemption, the budget of recovery, the budget of come back alive, the budget of resurrection? Let me come up with names for it. Would that be the situation here? In the meantime, it looks like the debt on each of the states continue to rise. It's sad to say the likes of Lagos or Osun State among the guys who are the highest debt profile states in the country. Lagos State, one could abandon and say, oh, guys, they're making money. So, to a large extent, they're not doing bad. But the other states of the Federation, they are doing very, very bad. Can I say it that way? Very, very bad. Very, very bad. Very, 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 very bad. In terms of their performance, the debt keeps going up. And they want more. Benue State, they recently just told that the CBN, that they want a review on the interest rate on their loans. The interest rate on the loan is about 28%. So they want it to go down so that they can pay off their bills. Now, I'm wondering how all these will come together. In fact, I'm just going to shush right now. It's time to bring you into the conversation. After the break, we'll start off with what you think. This is the place to be, right here, right now. There's always room for debate.
A great talk show unravels your thinking, makes you stop to listen, engages you in a debate of opinions.
I believe this man knows what he is doing. He is a Nigerian.
And ultimately brings you to the king of talk radio, FemiDlive.
Nothing breaks the news like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. I'm ready. Let's take on the biggest debates on radio, provide insights, experience, and build an unforgettable discussion together. I am FemiD. Amele. Let's talk with FemiDlive is on.
And now, get ready.
Keep up with FemiDlive for live updates on Twitter at FemiDlive, on Facebook at FemiDlive, Instagram at FemiDlive. All major platforms you would find FemiDlive. Send your messages and email femid@live.com to keep the conversation going even now.